This doesn't ever happen to anybody again. Nobody else deserves to die like that.
Tonight, the family of an Anchorage woman who died from hypothermia hours after multiple 911 calls breaks their silence to Alaska's news source. For the first time since filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the Municipality of Anchorage 3 months ago, the 31-year-old woman's family told our investigative team's Johnson Kuhn exclusively why they think the response to that 911 call cost their daughter her life. Johnson?
Thanks, Tracy. Alecia Lindsay's father wanted to talk about how his daughter had her whole life ahead of her. Tonight, for the first time, Lindsay's parents and the attorney representing them in their wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Anchorage are speaking out about who she was and the morning they say the system failed her.
She's a very, very sweet girl, you know, and we miss her.
Randy Kerr says part of what he misses about his daughter Alecia Lindsay is how creative she was.
She was an artist, and she was a very good photographer.
So good, in memoriam, their daughter's college magazine at Whitman College in Washington State paid tribute to the 2014 graduates' pieces published in Vogue Italia. It's hard, Kerr says, to talk about remembering the day a friend told the family.
She goes, "Your daughter's dead." I'm like, "What?" I mean, we just like, yeah, we're floored. Just let the gas. Pretty upsetting.
So many questions about February 8th, 2024. The medical examiner later ruled Lindsay's cause of death was hypothermia due to exposure to cold environmental temperatures. Alaska's news source previously reported how call logs show no ambulance was dispatched for more than an hour after the first 911 call, and the hours after what multiple people describe in police reports as a mental health crisis, where Lindsay ended up from being at the airport to being dropped off near downtown right before she died.
That's where it ended for her, which is just unfortunate.
Filing a wrongful death lawsuit, the family's attorney, John Mark Peterson, says was the only way they felt they could get answers, saying the complicated legal and financial history between Lindsay and her parents should not be confused with what dispatchers were legally required to do.
Is there a backstory? Yes. Should it override the situation and position that she had that morning? I don't think so. So once that call was made, there should have been more intervention than what occurred.
But in their March response, city attorneys argue Alaska law protects dispatchers based on the judgment calls they make. The family says what happened was a mistake, not a judgment call.
While there may be some gray area with the first call, although I don't think so, but let's just say for the sake of argument there is no gray area for the second call. None.
Eric Harn is a former 911 dispatcher with more than 2 decades of experience, who has analyzed 911 failures in other cases. After our first story aired in March, he contacted me, saying in his view the dispatcher's failure to connect freezing weather conditions to what 911 callers were reporting should have triggered an immediate medical response.
If you're situationally aware, you know, hey, there's snow on the ground, sub-freezing temperatures all night. Now you integrate those factors into that first call from the resident, and you have an EMS call. You have a call where an ambulance needs to be dispatched.
And with that in mind, the family says they want answers.
I think the focus is on the daughter.
As they say they want the community to know their strong belief is there is no evidence drugs or alcohol played a role in how Alecia Lindsay ended up outside a stranger's home hours before she died from hypothermia, saying the morphine and acetone seen in the toxicology report they shared with us shows what was in her system as a result of what first responders used to try to save her.
This doesn't ever happen to anybody again. Nobody else deserves to die like that.
And we told you how the toxicology report mentioned acetone. That's a compound the body produces naturally when burning fat for energy, including during prolonged cold exposure. While the medical examiner's initial cause of death was determined to be hypothermia, Anchorage Police Department's death investigation remains open.
And Johnson, you've reported how the municipality denied these allegations in a March court filing. Where does that stand?
Right. So what happened with that is no one from the municipality has agreed to an interview despite our repeated requests, saying they cannot comment because of ongoing litigation. You may remember the city's filing admits the times of the 2 911 calls, the officer's arrival, and when EMS arrived, but they denied the rest of the family's claims. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
Turning to weather, we only saw a few sunbreaks today, but it was still the warmest day since last fall in Anchorage. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joins us now. Melissa, is the warmer air here to stay?
Kinda, more or less. We'll see temperatures at least close to what we expect for this time of year, which really has been something that we have not seen much of this spring. So check it out. High temperature today, 56 degrees. That is the warmest since October 8th. Typically, we see 55 degrees for the first time around the first of the month, but this is the sixth latest on record that we've ever hit that milestone. Right now, temperatures have slid back into those low 50s out near the airport, but still at 57 at Government Hill, 58 at this hour at Jay Bear. We're seeing those mid to upper 50s all across East Anchorage, Eagle River at 55, and warm in the valley as well. Fairbanks even warmer today with highs in the mid 60s. Still a different story, though, from Portage into Whittier out toward Juneau. Those are the areas still seeing rain showers today and high temperatures holding in the mid to upper 40s. You can see a little bit of rain showing up on the radar, again, mainly confined to Seward across Prince William Sound and the higher elevations here around South Central. That's where we'll see it tonight into tomorrow. Also seeing some of those rain showers just south of Fairbanks. Now, we are continuing to keep a very close eye on river conditions across the state. I will have more on that coming up a little bit later in the newscast. But as we look ahead to tomorrow, more sunshine, more warm air on the way for South Central and for the interior, with those showers continuing along the coast. We'll have a closer look at that extended forecast here in a few minutes.
Thanks, Melissa. In Capitol coverage, dozens of lawmakers are seeing green as conversations about making giant cabbage the state's official vegetable continue. A bill to make that happen passed the body unanimously in a 38-0 vote. It now awaits Senate approval. Giant cabbage is grown in Alaska, but is not naturally occurring. It's specially cultivated and is a staple at the State Fair in Palmer each year. House Minority Leader Delina Johnson says making giant cabbage the state vegetable could be good for marketing and highlight Alaska's agriculture. Fairbanks is more than a military town. It's a community tied deeply to the people who serve there. Adrian Peterson shows us how this year's Military Appreciation Banquet came together as Alaska's role in Pacific defense continues to grow.
From camaraderie to honorees, the Military Appreciation Banquet sees hundreds of residents and military personnel gather each year in Fairbanks. This banquet gives the community a chance to give back thanks to the armed forces and all that they do in the interior.
They often are the ones that are responding to accidents on the side of the road. They volunteer in our schools and in our churches. And I think we have to say thank you for their service. Our freedoms are based upon what they do for a living.
While members of the Air Force and Army were thanked time and again for their service and role in the community, one thing that made this year's banquet special was the presence of Marine leadership and a keynote speech from the commanding general of the Army's Pacific Forces.
The people of Alaska, especially the interior, embody a unique resilience, toughness, grit, and togetherness that you share with our service members who live here with you. You stand ready to support our mission and each other with unwavering determination.
General Clark's presence was also special for those that were honored that night. But for many, the banquet is just an example of how the interior embraces soldiers and veterans.
And I think that actually really speaks to the tight-knit community here in Fairbanks, where I have friends outside of the Army, outside Fort Wainwright, that are actively involved in my life, and I'm involved in their life.
I think this banquet is so important to continue because it just emphasizes and highlights the importance of the community relationships that are built and will continue to last even after the military members come and go.
Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
The Anchorage Chamber of Commerce will have their Military Appreciation Picnic on June 5th.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.